Wolf, you and I could totally commentate landscaping competitions too. We're like, there's too many trees here. It's our fallback career. All right, here on the lower right part of the map is our soccer player. There he is. So, maybe a fan of the sport. I don't know. Anyway, at the top left part of the map, we have our Zerg player from the team OGS. He is.
Looks like we are going to have a 10 out of Sazan.
Interesting. Oh, no, he just made a... Well, he made an Overlord at 10. I think, did he make the Overlord at 10 or
yeah,
9?
He made it at 10.
Like he made it at 10.
He's going to do the extractor trick, I think.
Okay, never mind.
He was fooling me.
You're a Protoss player. I'm a Terran player.
Fooled me, man.
That's right. He fooled me too. Don't worry. Don't feel bad about it. It's okay.
A lot of people do like to do 10 pulls on this map to catch Nexus first off guard a little bit.
Yep.
But a good Protoss will still be able to micro his way out of that. Speaking of Nexus first, it's not what we're going to have. We're going to have Forge into Nexus.
Speaking of this, we're going to see something completely different.
There's the Forge going down. Now, the reason why a lot of players like to go Forge first on this map, because you can almost always get away with Nexus first, even against the 6 pool. And the reason why people go Forge first is because there's also the potential to cannon your opponent on this map. There's a lot of different areas. You can even, in some spawning locations, cannon the main. Behind the mineral lines, there's a lot of area back there. If you can get away with that, if you get lucky, you can do that. But that's not very common. The most common place to cannon is the 3 pylon wall off to cannon the natural. So,
yep.
Always got to make your Zerg player be aware of that. You can punish a hatchery first quite easily with that.
Yeah, and I think you should too. I mean, it's if a Zerg decides to go hatchery first, why shouldn't they be punished for that on a map like this, you know? And it looks like Sazan's going to try to do just that. Actually, no, I take it back. He did get his pool first. My bad. But that probe is going to delay the hatchery for a little while at least.
Yeah, he may even decide to block with a pylon. I don't think he's going to commit.
Oh, he does. All right.
Changed my mind, man.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I don't care what Wolf wants. I don't care what Wolf thinks. I'm just going to make the pylon.
Nope.
And the Lings are already out, so he's going to have to cancel that pretty promptly here. He may actually, it looks like he may want to, based on what he was doing with that probe, I was like, he's not going to make a core there, is he?
Looks
Super
like
commit.
the drone is going to get the hatchery down. He does.
Hatchery goes down, and probe going to get taken out.
You know, I always wondered why soccer's name is soccer, because I'm pretty sure here they call it football.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little strange myself. I was thinking about that earlier. I'm sure he's got his own reasons. Maybe he likes the name better.
Maybe he played a soccer video game. It was called Soccer.
Maybe he played the Sock'em Boppers.
It's true. Rock'em Sock'em Robot. He's like soccer. He's like, I'm gonna knock Sazan's block off.
That's probably what he wants to do.
I think MC wants to do that, man. So I was like, you see this fist?
Yeah, that's what.
That was like
you really did. I mean, we're not exactly. That's literally what we
Yes.
did earlier.
I wish I could have like a video clip of that. That was one of the greatest MC moments of all time, actually.
There are a lot of MC moments out there.
We witness a lot of them here. It's true.
Full wall off and kills the Ling with the cannon.
Yep. And that probe is still alive for
Yeah, that's
now.
really surprising.
Oh,
Nope,
no,
just
he's dead.
died.
Never mind.
Now, whenever you have to make a turn, here's a tip for those of you guys who struggle to get your probe away from the Zerglings, or any sort of chasing unit for that matter. The more turns the probe has to make, the more times the Zergling is going to have a chance to swipe him, because he has to stop and then do the re-acceleration movement. So
yeah,
always just make one path back to your base. The more turns you make, the more swipes the Zergling is going to get. You can even watch it here. Oh, you can't watch it anymore.
Well, I've heard that like spam clicking where you want your gatherer to go actually slows them down a little bit too.
Yeah, because he might decide, it might like re-path it and he might make a turn.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
You'd think the Protoss would have designed their probes better to just kind of smoothly turn.
Well, I would have thought the Protoss would install a booster on the probe.
Yeah, it could just
he
like
could
lift.
mine faster, you know, he could do all sorts of different things.
Each probe has like a NOS button on the inside, like one of the cars from Fast and the Furious. You just press it, he mines as fast as a mule.
Sazan has taken all 4 of his gases. He's been making nothing but drones since he made those initial Lings, so he's got 33 drones right now.
So he's got a couple options at this point. I mean, with that much gas, wouldn't be surprised to see something like, I don't know, really fast infestors.
Yeah, I'm thinking that that's entirely a possibility. There's the lair.
Yep.
Going up, obviously. silly if he didn't get a lair after getting 4 gas.
Well, it's hard to get infestors without a lair. I mean, I've tried it. It doesn't work very well.
Usually doesn't work, no.
I'm like, this button doesn't work.
Soccer adding some gates here. How many will he add? He's gone up to 4.
Yep.
Looks like that's going to be the magic number for him right now.
Yeah, he's getting that +1. Also, like most Protoss who go Forge Expand do, a lot of Protoss, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, of course, but like to do that 5 or 6 gate push with +2 weapons. It seems pretty popular.
That is pretty common right now. It's becoming less common as time goes on because Zergs have found out that if you go fast with burrowed roaches, you can hold it quite easily. But I don't think that's what we're going to see. I think what we're going to see from Soccer is a 4-gate sort of timing push. He's going to send a lot of units out to force a cancel on a potential 3rd base for Zazan.
Zazan appears to be thinking air because he does have a couple Spore Crawlers there. And I don't think it's a bad thing just to get a couple safety Spore Crawlers, just because it does keep you safe against DTs as well.
Pretty common to see Stargate openers. Hallucination being researched. He's killing his own pylon so he can escape. He lost a pylon earlier that he hit around the map to Zerglings, so he's having to make a lot of extra pylons. Very frustrating. And there's that infestation pit, so
okay,
we were right in our assumptions. That's why he got that fast 4 gas. It's really common to see this build on this map.
Oopsie, depowered his cybernetics core with that.
Yeah, so that hallucination's got a ways to go now.
Yep, it certainly does. Robobay on the way for Soccer as well, and this will be. I'm looking forward to seeing Zazan play this out. He's getting Burrow as well. Burrowed Infestors are just one of the most fun things to watch in the game. I love watching people go Burrowed Infestors.
Now, what Infestors are really good against is this heavy sentry mix that we see.
Yeah.
One thing that Soccer really has going for him, though, is that he did go quickly into Robotech. You need Colossi to deal with Infestors. Of course, High Templar are another option. But Colossi really are the money unit you want to deal with those Infestors. They clear them out very quickly, especially once they have range. The Infestors hardly can do anything. Kill them very quickly. It makes it so that every time your opponent wants to fungal, he has to accept that his Infestor is going to die when he does that. He's actually making more sentries here. He's got 2 stock in the mix as well. He wants to hit that 3rd base with a good timing, but when these Infestors get out, 6 of them are on the way. 7, in fact, Infestors. They're all going to have fungal because he timed it out with the pathogen glands. It's going to be very difficult to push into that with purely sentries.
Yeah, that seems like an excessive amount of sentries.
Phoenix is going to come in here. Will he see? No.
Whoop.
Was not able to see the infestation pit, and no Infestors had popped at that moment, so not able to see anything that he wanted to see. Very unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I don't know. Things looking a little bit risky for Soccer right now. A lot of sentries, but not much else.
As long as he doesn't attack, he'll be okay. And I think, given that he saw a very late 3rd, and also he wasn't able to see exactly what's going on, he's not going to feel safe attacking. He's just going to take that 3rd base. He's adding 2 more gates. He's adding a Twilight Council. So even though the composition he has right now isn't the best against what Zazan is doing, he is still doing he's still doing things that are okay. Now these Infestors, he's going to try to perhaps use these to force a cancel on the Nexus.
I suppose you could just surround it with infested Terrans and do it that way.
But it's not necessary when there are Zerglings that can do the job just as quickly.
Yep, and being very, very careful with the Zerglings. I do like that he's not taking any unnecessary risks.
Oh man, the Soccer has no idea about these Infestors. They're going to pop up and do some sick fungals, man.
This could be huge. Here they go.
Oh, fungals and sentries. He's going to be able to do it again and again.
Those sentries are going to take so much damage. Look at the health going down.
Oh.
Boom. Wow. Well,
and with Burrow, he's able to just retreat them without losing them, despite the fact that they're force fielded in there.
Yeah, no observers out or anything like that yet for Soccer also.
Well, he has 2 observers, but they're just they're around the map. They're so far away, he can't use them here. He's sending one back now, but it's going to take a long time. Dropping infested Terrans on the other side here. When those force fields run out, things are going to get a little messy.
Yes, I think they will, Wolf.
I'm not sure if I agree with all that energy spent like this, though, because those infested Terrans are getting cleaned up very quickly, and in fact, he's going to hold.
I was thinking maybe if he focused down the sentries with him, it'd be okay, but...
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird choice. I don't agree with that, but either way, he did kill a lot of the units of Soccer, and now he's just trading armies with Soccer repeatedly, which is what he wants to do.
Yeah, I mean, he made Soccer use up a lot of gas. He wasn't able to stop the 3rd from going up, though, which is pretty unfortunate.
And the other scary thing is that Storm is on the way. 4 High Templar are out. High Templar, of course, do quite well against infestors.
Yes, they do.
But only when you have detection, you have to be very careful with that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he'll have an observer.
And he doesn't have much. He doesn't have much of a support army for those High Templars. So basically, the Speedlings can just rule the day. Then the infestors can come and kind of control how the engagement goes.
Well, I'm still kind of surprised he made so many sentries. I mean, he must have just felt like he wanted to stay ultra safe, but a little bit of a surprising decision.
Now he's making heavy zealots because he kind of needs to because of the Zerglings, but at the same time, the infestors with good fungals can just put an end to the zealots' use. They just cannot be used. Now these Zerglings try to sneak in here, do a counterattack. Should be able to take out this gateway.
Yeah,
but the gateway might buy him enough time to come back and defend this.
Looks like he's going to be able to defend it, but he's going to lose 2 gateways there, and looks like Cezanne isn't really going to lose a lot himself either.
Just losing a few lings there, trading for the gates. Full counterattack over here with these Speedlings.
Oh, Zergling's getting it right into the main. Nice force field, cuts off a lot of those. Nice response by Soccer, and he's going to be able to deal with these very easily with the Zealots.
Force field, of course, stopped him from seeing his main units back. Meanwhile, Infested Terran's being dropped in the 3rd here.
And focusing down on the cannons initially, but I don't know if this is going to really accomplish a whole lot.
Well, he did force 2 storms on one group of Infested Terrans.
Yes, I mean, he's trading energy for energy.
Get out of here. The problem now for Cezanne is that even though he's taken a 4th base, he's got a decent amount of creep spread, is that he hasn't really killed any of the units anymore. He's no longer trading armies.
Yeah.
He's just allowing Soccer to get that critical mass of units. He's got +3 weapons on the way, a Colossus, Thermal Lance. He has a lot more gates. He's switching into Roaches, which is really smart. But there is going to be this timing that Soccer's going to have where he might be able to force cancel, or not force cancel, it's too late for that. Force he's not going to be able to hold the 4th base. I'm trying to struggle to get that out. He might not be able to hold the 4th. That's the main idea here.
And Spire going up for Cezanne as well, as you can see there. So he's trying his best to prepare for that, but I kind of feel like at this point it might be a little bit too late. We'll have to wait and see, I guess, but
+2 missile attacks as well as +2 melee attacks on the way. Switching to Roaches is the smartest choice he could have made. He's going to attack here. Now he's going to start trading the armies like he needed to be doing earlier. And because he's got this heavy Roach force against mostly Zealots and High Templar, that's not exactly what you want, even when...
well, here we go. Roach is trying to get that concave, but it looks like Cezanne will pull back right away.
Yeah, he needed to wait for a few more Roaches.
Yeah.
He's got 8 more on the way.
Oh, he's going to lose that Infestor if he's not careful. Those Stalkers are catching up. They don't have Blink yet, though, I believe.
No, he hasn't even started it.
So they can't pump that. Oh!
Trying
to shoot Infestor.
Oh, is he going to fungal it again? He does.
And the Roaches are going to clean up those Stalkers. So nice little snipe there.
Yeah, just trade. It's much easier for the Zerg to remax than it is for the Protoss to remake these units. This Warp Prism is going to be spotted immediately.
Oh, and speaking of immediately, a Greater Spire immediately made by Cezanne, but first he's got to deal with this.
I'm not in agreement with the choice of Warp Zealots, especially not the one on the high ground there.
Well, yeah, that one's not going to be too helpful.
I would have much rather seen him warp Stalkers onto the high ground and just harass the Extractor.
Like one of those Zealots died as it was being warped in.
Yeah,
like, come on.
He's going to kill 2 drones and a Spine Crawler with this.
Yep.
Warp Prism not going to escape either.
No, I don't think so.
3 Stargates being made for Soccer, which is a very smart choice. He's got the 4th base up. Soccer, we're very critical of his play and some of these decisions that he's making, but otherwise he's playing very safely. He's doing what he needs to do, which is to get a strong army and do that big push. He doesn't need to move out on the map. If he moves out on the map, he's going to lose a Stalker here, lose a Stalker there. Doesn't want to lose any of his units. Wants to get that 200 army that he wants to fight with and use that.
And he must know that there's Hive Tech on the way because he's already getting +1 ship weapons. He's going to want to have those Void Rays to deal with the Broodlords.
Infestor's going to try to sneak over here, but there are a lot of cannons waiting for them. And in fact, well, yeah, this isn't going to quite work out. He's going to be able to maybe clean up some of these cannons.
Oh, looks like some Roaches getting caught up position. Nice feedback on a couple of those Infestors as well.
Actually, he's breaking through the cannons here with his +2/2 upgrades on these Infested Terrans.
Man, they do a lot of damage. But the Zealots do clean that up.
I didn't expect him to break through all of those cannons.
Yep. Now, what Cezanne really needs to do is find an SCV, Neural Parasite, and make a command center, make real Marines. then he's going to be in great shape.
13 Corruptors on the way, 2 Broodlords on the way, +1 air weapons, Void Rays being started.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Cezanne throw some units away right now just to be able to produce some more Broodlords too. He's going to need more than 2.
And this is a nice little timing for Cezanne, or rather for Soccer to poke here. The problem though is he's going to get his army caught in a weird spot. Zealot's killing infestors in the middle of the map.
Wow.
We didn't get a shot of that, but he's going to kill this hatchery, but if he loses his entire army in the process, he's really going to regret it. He needs to pull those Colossi back to where they're not exposed on the backside.
Yeah, he's got to be really careful about this. I mean, he's in danger of just being trapped in this little alcove by the units of Cezanne. But it looks like Cezanne might be just going for a counterattack.
Yeah, man, he's got other plans. He wants to just attack with his roaches in the middle of the map. Unfortunately, though, for him, there are just so many cannons that this attack's going to be so slow. This is exactly what Soccer wanted. He's able to kill the hatchery, take no losses, go home, defend that base, and then remax with Void Rays. That's exactly what he wanted.
Roach attack at the 4th base. And it's
Soccer's okay with this because he's going to lose some cannons. That's fine. He's got a lot of resources banked up. He will most likely be able to save the Nexus. Even if he doesn't save the Nexus, he's got another one making right now. And he can remake that easily. He just wants to remax with Void Rays. In fact, he's already got 5 Void Rays out. His upgrades on his ground units are going to be 3-3.
Yeah, that's the thing. Not a lot of anti-air right now for OGS Cezanne.
And look, that's going to catch these roaches.
Oh.
Things really playing into Soccer's hands here.
Yeah, we're at the point where Cezanne is in serious trouble right now. I mean, he just does not have anything that can handle the composition.
But at least for him, he's seen it now. Now he knows the Void Ray switch has been made.
Yep.
Storms and all the infestors being taken out. Now, guys, look at the supply count. 195 to 134. This is the moment when Soccer needs to go, and I think he is going to go. He's got several Void Rays. He knows his opponent knows about the Void Rays. The Void Rays have +1 weapons.
That is a lot of Broodlords, but with no anti-air, I mean, he's only got a couple Corruptors right now. He's making 7 more, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Yeah, in fact, with those 7 more, he will have a total of 7. And 7 Corruptors against 7 Void Rays. 7 Void Rays win that fight.
Yeah, they definitely should.
Especially with Stalker support.
Yep.
Now he's just going to continue to poke here. Every time he loses a unit, he's going to be able to remax. Remember, he's got Storms as well. And Broodlord's engaging Void Rays first.
They're going to die so quickly, but look at that. Now that they're charged up, these Corruptors are going to be handled quite easily. 1 Void Ray does go down. But, well,
got to be careful of the Spore, but he did take out several of those Broodlords.
I'm a little bit surprised he pulled his army back like that. I mean, he was in a position where he could have done a lot more damage.
He's afraid of the Spines. With Broodlords and Spines doing that, of course, the Broodlings and the Spine damage makes it difficult for him to close this with his ground army. He can't lose the core of his army, because if he does that, the Voids will do okay for a minute until they get fungled like 5 times and they'll all die. So he just wants to be very careful here.
Well, fungal growth and spine crawlers do so well against ground units as well.
They really do. So he has to be very careful. Now the Nexus has been remade for Soccer. It's finishing up here. He's got a ton of resources banked. He's actually the one who wants to trade armies and remax at this point. A lot of his supply is in these High Templar. He's got 8 High Templar out. Those are going to make a huge difference if he can get Storms off just right, which is going to be very difficult to do with Spines and Broodlords. So he just keeps trying to force the army of Cezanne to be somewhere else. He's going to attack this 4th base location again.
Yep, that Nexus is, or not Nexus, that hatchery is definitely going to go down. The nice thing about having so many High Templars, too, is that you can even do crazy stuff like feedback the Corruptors if you need to.
And Corruptors engaging Void Rays in a bad spot here.
Oh, the fungal going down on the Void Rays. That's exactly what Cezanne needs, but he just does not have enough fungals. But I think the Corruptors have the edge now.
Yeah, they definitely do. Storm goes off on all of his Void Rays.
Oh, what?
And he just was a little bit too hesitant to use his ground army there, and now he lost a lot of his key units. He's trapped here between a rock and a hatchery, and he may be able to kill the hatchery, but his army is completely cut off here.
Yeah, he's got more Storms going down on some of those units, but he's lost so many Void Rays
and as the Void Rays fall, Cezanne is going to crush this army.
I think so. Wow, Soccer just kind of throwing this game away. A little bit hesitant in terms of his troop movement, and that is really all it took.
I wish Soccer had added more gates back at home. He's making 3 Void Rays at a time, but he doesn't have any more gates to really remax his army out with. And now, as you guys can see, even though he was ahead in supply before, now he's down 20 supply.
Yeah.
He can make Zealots attack outposts like he's doing now, which is a good choice. fact, he has twice the workers of Sazan, but Sazan now has the big, scary Broodlord army that's going to be very difficult to deal with.
Well, both of these guys seem kind of afraid to move out against each other.
Right, and the problem is, the reason why Sazan is scared to move out is because he knows he doesn't have as much mining as Soccer. The reason why Soccer is scared to move out is because there are 12 Broodlords, 13 Roaches, and 8 Infestors on the field versus 7 Void Rays and 10 Stalkers. It's like, well...
And is that +3 shields finishing right now for Soccer as well?
I think that was +2.
Is the blue +2? Okay,
yeah,
it was +2. All right. Oh, +3 just getting started now. I can't remember the last game I saw +3 shields researched.
Yeah, it was last time I saw it was a crazy PvT, but I don't want to get into that, man. That was a crazy game.
It's like you have that shell-shocked look in your eyes, like, I don't want to think about it.
I lost that game, man.
I'm sorry for bringing it up, Wolf. I feel
but
terrible
anyway,
now.
This attack actually might be the one that Soccer is hoping for because there's so many cannons here, it's going to be difficult to break. He's got the Broodlords in an awkward position, and he wants to storm these Broodlords if he can. The problem is he doesn't have any High Templar left. He doesn't have enough Stalkers to engage here. But with the Broodlords isolated here, he needs to target them down with the Voids. Stalker's blinking forward. Can he get the Broodlords down? One falls. Now he's going for the Corruptors. In fact, there may be too many Void Rays. And the ground army falling here, but...
There are the Fungals finally on the Void Rays. It took him a long time to do that. And it looks like the Void Rays may barely... Actually, they're going to lose to the Corruptors because of the Fungals.
Yeah, just barely. This one Void Ray trying to take them out, but the Infested Terrans have something to say about it.
That's right.
The Nexus will fall here. Supply is very even because Zealots continue to ravage the countryside off camera, killing 2 whole bases. In fact, they're still there. Sazan's going to try to take another base during all of this, but the Zealots will kill the drone.
Wow.
Right now for income, the income, see, that was the drone I was talking about. Right now for income, Soccer has a much better income, about 30% more, but he's still just got that solid, difficult to deal with composition.
Yeah, he lost a lot of Broodlords, but not all of them. There's still plenty there doing damage. And the Nexus does go down, so Sazan is going to march on. Sazan marching on.
Sazan is marching on. Probes being taken out here as they long-distance mine.
That's awkward.
Well, right now 60 Harvesters for Soccer to 34 of Sazan.
Okay, I think he may have just accidentally A-moved those Broodlords, so they just kind of stopped and started shooting probes.
Yeah.
They got a little bit behind the army, but they should catch up before anything bad happens.
This is going to be the crucial engagement, and I think if Sazan wins this one, he should be able to start securing more bases and win the game.
We'll see. Here come the Void Rays right now, and where's the Infestor support?
Oh,
Great
Infestor's got feedbacked, and now he should be able to win this fight.
Well, more Infestors coming in, but they don't have enough for Fungal.
He's going to take out these Infested Terrans very quickly, and then when the Void Rays win this fight, he may be able to hold the Nexus. It's going to be close. He's actually just going to ignore the Infested Terrans and go to his cannons. I like that because he can, of course, outrun the Infested Terrans. He's going to try to find the Corruptors.
One of those Void Rays is very, very low health. Probably won't survive. So if you like that Void Ray, say your final goodbyes to it. Oh, but it looks like he's going to catch some Broodlords in the middle of the map. And that was actually the last of Sazan's Broodlords, I believe.
Yeah, and
yes, it was.
He's just making Infestors at this point, but he doesn't really have an answer for these Broods, or excuse me, for these Void Rays. And Sazan is going to actually be under fire here by those same Zealots that killed his hatcheries. Like, well, you stopped making hatcheries, so I'm just going to go kill the drones at the last mining base that you have.
Yeah, these Zealot Warpins do so much.
Sazan is actually going to lose a queen here. He's not mining at all anymore. Not mining. None. Zero.
No, lately we've seen Protoss players do a lot where they go 1 DT in a bunch of Zealots, but as you can see, even if you don't have the Dark Shrine, you can still do a ton of damage with Zealot Warpins like that.
Now Sazan is in a very difficult position. I'll give you guys some unit counts. 8 Void Rays, 5 Stalkers, and 2 High Templar. That's it. But against 31 Roaches and 5 Infestors, that might just be enough. With tons of Photon Cannons on the map, it's going to be very easy for Soccer to resecure his Nexi.
It's possible.
These Roaches aren't going to be able to push through.
This game is strangely close. I think that's all I'll describe it.
If he catches the Void Rays, if he can kill the Void Rays, they're like the final boss. If he can kill those Void Rays, he should be okay. But if he gets all of his Infestors feedbacked, or they don't engage with his army and the Void Rays kill the Roaches, that's going to be it for Sazan. So he's got this core of Roaches that he can't use until the Void Rays are dead.
And the Roach is getting a little bit too close to the Void Rays there.
He's trying to draw the Void Rays away from the High Templar so he can feedback them. So I like his choice. Got to be careful with those Corruptors. Those are very important as well.
Yes, they are. I mean, a little bit unlikely that he would feed back them, but it is a possibility. They are still important units.
Yeah. You actually can't feedback corruptors anymore.
What? Oh, wait. Did I just, like, say the dumbest thing ever? Do they not actually have energy anymore?
No, they don't have energy anymore. That was a patch change. But
when did that happen?
That happened a while ago, but it's so negligible that people usually don't think about it. These probes are going to get caught here. Oh, man, he decided to fungal the observer. I thought those were probes getting fungled. Those probes are the luckiest probes I've ever seen, man.
Yes, they are.
So right now, what Cezanne is doing is cutting off the probes from the base that Cezanne can't attack, and meanwhile he's been able to resecure that 9 o'clock base, trying to trap Soccer, but Soccer still has this really strong army. He got a Colossus. With that Colossus, if he engages this just right, he may be able to end the game. This is going to be a very important battle. He's committing here. The Stalkers have Blink. He may decide to chase here. The army of Cezanne retreats. Now he's secured the watchtower. He can send his probes. The probes coming beyond. That's actually about 24 probes on one little stack there being sent across. With these observers that have speed, he got observer speed. He's using the observers to always follow the infestors. He's never really worried about the roaches. He's always on top of the infestors. If he can kill those, it'll be no problem. And the same could be said of the Void Rays for Cezanne. Those are basically the key units to destroy here.
Yeah.
Zealots can no longer ravage the 9 o'clock base.
This is like a game of who can run away from the other one faster, but it looks like Soccer wants to try to push out.
Misses a fungal and may lose an infestor.
Oh, that was close. That infestor very, very low on health right now. And the Templar have a lot of energy for feedback right now.
Yeah, they really do, and that's really the scary thing. That's why you don't see the infestors really commit to fighting. The roaches just go forward first every time. As far as income goes, twice the income of Cezanne is what Soccer has right now, with 2 fully mining Nexi. Cezanne just has not been able to secure another base. Ooh, I love this. He's finally going to do what I suggested earlier, send these Stalkers over to harass the Extractor.
And Cezanne really, really needs all the gas he can get right now just because his composition is so gas heavy. These Zealots aren't going to get there, though.
Not entirely sure what he's thinking with these Zealots. There's so many spines over there that the Zealots just cannot be used.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think he was just like, well, it was working for a while, so I'm just going to keep doing it, I guess.
Well, the Stalker's going to go down, but it buys him time. He knows he has better mining than his opponent, so if he can keep the army back, he's going to go and attack the north. Soccer's actually playing so well. He's outplaying Cezanne so well right now.
Yeah, he's just being really methodical. It's almost like watching a Terran player play right now, having to just be really slow and really positional.
And it looks like Cezanne may say enough is enough. He's going to try to target down these units. He's made a lot of Corruptors.
Oh, he does catch a High Templar out of position, and he may catch these Colossi as well. Whoa, look at the feedbacks.
Oh no, the storm hitting not only the Roaches, but also the Void Rays. And that one storm may have turned the tide into the favor of Cezanne with the Corruptors. Corruption going down, and the Void Rays charging up. This is going to be very close, and Cezanne decides to retreat.
Yeah,
and we may be back at square one, although the Colossi have been taken out here.
And I don't know, Cezanne just might decide to try to push this, but in doing so, he would lose a lot of roaches. Yeah, he does burrow and try to move away then. And like you said, we're kind of back to where we started now.
All these Corruptors down at like 30 hit points, and instead of killing them, he decided to send his Void Rays in 3 different directions, so 3 Void Rays were found by the Corruptors and killed.
All right. Well, there you go.
So, yeah, we're back to square one now. Again,
it's a Cezanne
having half the income of his opponent. Nice micro here. He's going to want to pull these Stalkers back.
Yep.
This little engagement means almost nothing, though, because he's going to kill maybe a Stalker, maybe a Roach. But the key units still remain. Those Infestors and Corruptors, those are the key here. Now they're joining up.
Well, Soccer's really been playing better as the game went on. I mean, he did a good job of avoiding the fungals with those Stalkers there. But, you know, supply count's still pretty even. This is actually one of the craziest ZVPs I've ever seen, man. I mean, just keeps going.
Well, it's just so scrappy. Neither of these guys have a lot of mining, so they have to be very careful.
Yep.
Now, Cezanne has decided to, again, retake the 12 o'clock base as well as the 7 o'clock bases because he has to remake those. Given that he now feels like he's got Soccer backed up here, he's able to take those, but another Warping of Zealots will just shut them down again. Probes were able to transfer here. He's been able to take the top right base, so Soccer can continue to have income. Catching these Corruptors is pretty huge.
Yeah. Cezanne needed every one of those he could get.
Now, what I'd like to see Soccer do, he's got 4 High Templar out. I'd like to see him warp in about 4 more and just go and end the game. He can do it now. He doesn't know it,
like to see?
But he could. Look at this. Here's that Zealot warping I was talking about, but...
Oh, look at that. And that's not going to work out very well. Does cancel it. And
yeah, I'm glad he was able to cancel that, because that would have been a lot of lost Zealots there.
Yeah, absolutely.
For those of you guys who don't know, if you change from phase mode to transportation mode, it'll cancel the warp and all the Zealots will die in transit. You do get the money back, so you can cancel that.
Yeah. We're not worried about the Zealots. We're just worried about the money. So that's right.
So this little attack, I think, may be too much for Cezanne to handle, especially because his Infestors are out of position. Soccer's going to want to spread his units here. He's probably going to blink his Stalkers to the side. There he goes, blinks it to the side, catching these Infestors. This could end the game.
Nice snipe.
Void Rays doing so much damage, and the Storms are going to go down. And this may be it. He just doesn't have enough to hold. Even Zealots running in to do some damage.
Yeah, Soccer should just be able to march to victory at this point.
Blinking forward again, catching another Roach. Now, even though the forces did get away, he's going to be able to kill this hatchery again. And the game will go on. More Colossi being made. Right now, I'll give you guys another unit count. I know it's difficult to see everything that's going on the map. 11 Zealots, 5 Void Rays, 1 Colossus, 15 Stalkers, and 6 High Templar against just 24 Roaches and 3 Infestors. 57 probes to 37 drones.
You know, I'm actually going to say, I wonder if this is going to turn out to be the longest game in GSL history, even longer than the one we casted before, and I'm going to say it because that will make it end soon.
Well, this base is under siege, I guess you could say. And meanwhile, he's going to try to break these cannons. He will be able to break them. This is actually a really smart choice to go in here, target down the pylons, unpower the cannons.
Yep.
He's able to come in here while the army of Soccer is away, but even if he kills these Nexi, he just does not have any mining, and Soccer's just going to be able to counterattack and kill him.
Well, yeah, that's basically Cezanne's army, and he's losing it to cannons right now. I mean...
Well, he's not losing it. He's able to keep this army alive, but...
Oh, look, what is that Colossi doing?
The problem is his army is not better than his opponent, and so... You know, he's just basically deciding, well, this is the way I'm going to decide to die. Maybe if I can keep a lot of Infestors alive, I will be able to use my Bungles to end the game. But it's not going to happen, especially since his last Infestor just went down.
Yep.
He's got 2 more scattered around the map, but they don't have a lot of energy.
Yeah, it looks like Soccer's going to lose a lot of these probes, but, you know, like you said, it's the big death ball. It's that right there that Cezanne really needs to worry about.
And in fact, he's just going to go and corner that Roach army and kill it. The next side will go down, yeah, that's true, but
it will.
It's okay because since Soccer has so much of an army, he can just make another Nexus elsewhere. He's actually going to go and bully the hatchery at the top, which is the last mining base of Cezanne.
Yep. And it looks like we may be reaching the end of this now. I mean, Soccer, you know, despite a couple of mistakes, I mean, both the players made mistakes, but as the game went on, it seems like Soccer was playing better and better.
With that Storm on the drones, it brings the worker count to 34 to 12.
Actually didn't kill a lot of drones.
Yeah, he killed about 20. The Storms didn't quite hit all of them, but they were burrowed. He couldn't tell exactly where they were. And this is going to be it. He's going to catch the last remnants of the army. He's going to probably storm on those. Doesn't even need to storm on them.
Yeah.
And that is that.
That should be it. That is in the army, 137 supply to just 44.
For both players, but 137 to 42, like you just said. GG.
Yep. GG. And it looks like we are all tied up here. Soccer taking down Cezanne. That was a pretty long game, Wolf.
That was pretty long.
Sounds like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I lost that game.
Well, he's probably a little relieved he doesn't have to play another game after that.
Talk about tiring a player out, though. I mean, after that, Soccer's just got to be mentally exhausted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Giving the high fives there to his F.United team. Ties it up.
The Prime fans are like, yes!
Yeah, Prime back at home cheering. No, for those of you guys who didn't tune in earlier, obviously Prime is cheering for F.United because if F.United wins, Prime takes the playoff spot instead of OGS.
Yeah.
So F.United is fighting for their prize. The last time we made Fox will ever make an appearance, and on top of that, of course, Prime, they're fighting for Prime.
That's right. This is like, they're like the Prime mercenaries right now. So, wow, the flames have gotten a lot higher in the GOM studio today.
Flames
They've
have been
dialed it
rising,
up.
man. Maybe
Yeah.
the longer the game goes on, the flames get higher.
I think that's
we have
that's
another game
true,
like
yeah.
that. They actually just like go through this thing. We have to call the fire department and take care of that.
Yep. If you see us run and like stop dropping and rolling, you'll know why.
Or if you just suddenly hear a loud thud and we're no longer casting,
That's
you'll
true
know the
too.
answer.
We laugh, but it's actually very serious. Fire hazards are a serious thing, kids.
Yeah, learn to stop, drop, and roll.
Don't
Make
play
sure you
with
always know
flamethrowers.
alternate exits. Do you guys know alternate exits to the building you're in right now, other than the main ones? You should actually make
I?
yourselves aware of them right now. If you're like, I'm in my house, well, I hope you have some sort of mechanism to get out of that window if things get hairy.
I know a window I can jump out of here, but that's it. Oh man, now I'm like terrified.
Don't worry, I know the exits. I wouldn't leave you.
Okay, thanks. Wolf will save me.
All right, who's OGS going to pick to come out next?
I think it's gonna be the STC. He's getting up, but someone else is getting up too.
Yeah, it's really going to be the STC.
I'm pretty sure that's the STC.
The guy at the back tried to trick him.
He's like, no, it's my turn. Wait, there's somebody in that booth. Who is that?
Oh, they did it again.
They did do it again. That is Vines, I believe. I could be wrong. I'm starting to know all the players by face.
Some of these guys
And
just
no,
don't.
it's Lovesick.
Yeah, it's Lovesick, otherwise known as OGSJ.
Yep.
They come out
And,
here, so I think he's probably going to play a very similar style to Zazan. Very curious to see what map he's chosen.
Yeah, no
because
kidding.
after tiring soccer out like that, a map like Terminus would be great. Obviously, we can't use Terminus; it's already been used. We may see him pick Daybreak.
Bellshoe Beach is a good choice, I think, too. For a ZVP. He's going to need to put his headset in, though. He can't hear anything right now.
Blowing the dust off those earbuds.
Yep, that's
He's ready.
too.
He's got the old school glasses. I love those. You know, it's like they're kind of the thick ones, but they have like the clear part at the bottom. I don't know what those are called, but I like that style of glasses.
He looks like a scientist from the 1950s or something.
Yeah, man, that's really cool. I really like those glasses. We're gonna take a 5-minute break, guys. When we get back, Lovesick gonna try to bring his team into the lead. So stay tuned.